Our 50-state beer tour today focuses on the best stouts and porters. Who knew Utah had a world-class imperial stout?
And we're going to count down the best beer scenes in movie history. For this segment, you're going to need a bigger boat.
He's Mike Sealski. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Free Will Brewing in Percy for a new episode of What's Brewing. Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. He's my radio partner and Inquirer columnist Mike Sealski. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Free Will Brewing in Percy, a great place with great beer. And one of the things they do really well are the good stouts and porters. What are you drinking here to start?
So I have, Glenn, a barrel-aged Ralphius. This is one of the main beers that Free Will is known for. It's one of my favorites. It is not generally a beer that you would drink in a glass like this, because it will knock you on your rear end, but it is very smooth, a terrific after-dinner beer.
You've waited in line for this beer,
on
right?
On Black Friday, yes, when they have their big release here. As I said, it's one of my favorites. I have 4 bottles of this in my fridge right now.
I'm coming over. It's a huge thing when they do. So I am drinking their Baltic Porter. This is known as Knight Rider, play on Knight Rider. Where's my can here? There we go, with the Viking. 6.5%. Brewers started making it as a home brew. And they brought it along and developed it. It's a beautiful beer. Okay, which gets us to our theme this week, which is stouts and porters. Now, Mike, I've been doing a thing on the show this year where I aim to drink a beer from all 50 states.
Okay. How far have you got?
I think today is number 17 through 20.
Ah,
so
excellent.
We're going to knock off 4. You have to be prepared because some of these are pretty hefty beers.
That's okay. I'm a pretty hefty guy, I'd like to think.
Now, you brought me one which is a really nice kind of more of an everyday drinking beer, but really one of my favorite porters.
It is. It's one of my favorite porters, too. It's a Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter, Great Lakes, based in Cleveland. And first of all, the thing I love about this porter, Glenn, is the name, because it is referencing, obviously, the ship, the Edmund Fitzgerald, the great Gordon Lightfoot song from back in the day. And this is.
Can anybody sing a few bars of that song?
I'm not going to sing, but I will say that this is this is the perfect beer to drink when the gales of November start slashing.
There you go.
Okay, so
right,
a little bit for you.
All right,
a
here's
little
to
bit
you.
for
Now,
me.
I will tell you that in the 50-state tour, the scoring system is very arbitrary. It's kind of whatever you want, from 1 to 100. I originally said 50 was the average, but it's not because everything is higher than that. So if you like it, it's like 80 above.
Gotcha.
You judge however you like.
Okay.
Here we go.
I like it a lot. I mean, I get hints of coffee. I'm not a big bitter beer person. I like the fact that this is not that bitter. I give it an 80 out of 100.
An 80 out of 100. I'm going to go 82. I'm really right there with you. So I've been to their brewery. Ray Dinger and I, some years ago, took a bunch of WIP listeners to Cleveland, Ohio. We went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got in an argument with Ray. He didn't think the Kinks were worthy.
What?
Come on, Ray. We went to the house where they filmed the movie Christmas Story. You now see a picture of Ray with his Red Ryder rifle.
Does it have a compass and stock and a thing that tells time?
Shoot his eye out. And we went to this brewery, and I really enjoyed it, so I like their beer. Now, here's what I brought you.
Okay.
You see this baby? This is from Utah. This is Epic Brewing Big Bad Baptist Toasted Coconut Imperial Stout, Mike Sealski.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's also hard to open. Oh, my. This, by the way, this clocks in at 12.4%.
Wow. I may just have to bring it to my nose and keep it there.
Well,
because
this is 22 ounces, so I did the math. This is like the equivalent of 4 or 5 kind of macro beers. You sit home and drink this. It's a toughie.
Yeah. You start on a Friday, you don't wake up till Monday.
Yeah, so here's what they say about it. This is a 2022 rare release that's been aging since then. Take a trip with us to the tropics. Feel the warm sand beneath your feet, and dip your toes into the sea. It's Utah.
Utah.
I know.
What does Utah know about the tropics?
With a coconut stout. All right.
I'll try a little bit more here.
Oh, hefty, hefty, hefty.
That's really hefty. That is a beer that you're going to want to share with friends on a Friday or Saturday night
all right.
and take your time with it.
And?
I like it. I give it like an 84.
I like giving it 85. Wow, you and I are right on the same realm there. All right, I brought 2 more for us to try. Let's go to Oklahoma, shall we?
Okay, if you insist.
By the way, the Utah beer, the laws in Utah is if you have a beer on draft, it cannot be above 5%. But this beer you can obviously buy in the bottle and at the brewery. It's a nice brewery. All these beers today come from our friends at Lower Merion Beverage Company on Greenfield Avenue in Ardmore. Stop in there. Any beer you see on the show, they'll give you 10% off.
I like that.
If you go there. Okay. This is Prairie Artisan Ales Bomb with an exclamation point. They teach you not to write with exclamation points.
They do. It's like the New York Post created a beer.
Coffee Imperial Stout. It ranks #1 in Beer Advocate's Oklahoma list.
Okay.
Let's try it.
That's my favorite so far of the 3 we've tried.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me why.
I like the roastiness of it. I like the body of it. I give it a 91.
Wow, I'm going down to a 65. Too viscous, too thick,
Really?
too
Okay,
coffee.
I like that.
And finally, because you need peanut butter every day.
Yes, you do.
This is from Connecticut, Connecticut Valley's Peanut Butter Stout. It's got a low ABV. This is of all of these, this is the most easily drinkable at 5%. This brewery north of Hartford, I've been to this brewery. They have a great tasting room. Here's what they write. Hey, chocolate, guess what? There's someone else. Peanut Butter's found an even better partner, this stout. Together, they've paired up to become your beer fridge's new power couple.
All right, so my favorite candy of all time is a Reese's Peanut Butter
Yes.
Cup. I am not allowed to have them in my house because my children are allergic to peanuts.
Oh, no.
We use almond butter instead, so I'm glad to dive into this.
What do you think?
Disappointing.
Okay.
Disappointing. I give it a 60.
All right, I was going to go 65, so we're kind of in the same realm with each, but it appears that the winner of the day, the one we both liked, is this puppy, and the good news is we can drink it for like the next 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Because a little bit goes a long way. All right, and again, thanks to Lower Merion Beverage for all of this. When we get back, we're going to talk about the best beer scenes ever in movies. Give me a little Morgan Freeman.
We drank with the sun on our backs and felt like free men.
Joe Conklin is in no danger. From Free Will Brewing in Percy, Mike Sealski, Glen Macnow. What's brewing?
Hey Glenn, what brings you into our King of Prussia tap room today?
Well, Andrew, I'm meeting a few friends for a beer before our big event tonight. King of Prussia is the perfect location.
Yes indeed, Conshohocken Brewing's 4 spots are all great for any event. Big plans for tomorrow?
I'm going to enjoy happy hour at the Rec Room in Phoenixville before some rousing games of ping pong and shuffleboard with the family.
Well, you can't beat the record when it comes to food and fun for the whole family. How about this weekend?
Saturday, I'm riding my bike along the Schuylkill River Trail before stopping at Conchi Tap Room for some post-ride refreshments.
That's a great idea. Our original Conchi tap room at mile marker 12.5 is the go-to spot for locals, visitors, anybody looking to quench their thirst.
And I've got Sunday covered. We're going to enjoy lunch at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport, then go outside for a few cold ones at the beer garden, then back in to enjoy the ball game.
What a week in all of Conshohocken Brewing's unique spots. I'll meet you there for a pint or two.
Cheers. Welcome back to What's Brewing from Free Will Brewing in Percy. He's Mike Sealski drinking a...
Percy Premium. This is the house lager. It's the one the brewers really like. It's one of my favorites too.
Brewers always like the lagers, all the time. I love a red ale. It's hard to find a good red ale. This is their Morgan Red Ale at 4.5%. There you go. I'll be using that voice again. The Macnows. All right. Last episode, we featured Narragansett beer, and it got us thinking because we showed the scene from Jaws where Quint drinks well, we're going to show you that in a minute. What's the beer scene ever in a movie? We put it on social media. We got more than 200 responses.
Not
from people.
surprised.
Ton of suggestions, so we decided let's do our top. We kind of did a draft. You got the top pick, so we're going to do from 6 up to 1, which he picked. Here's number 6. This is one of mine. This is Superbad. Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, described on IMDb as 2 codependent high school seniors are forced to deal with separation anxiety after their plan to stage a booze-soaked party goes awry. I don't know about that. Mostly it's funny, This is Christopher Mintz Place with the fake Hawaiian ID. Name was?
McLovin.
Going to the liquor store trying to pass for 21. He persuades the checkout woman, but then he gets mugged and has to convince the cops. The cops, by the way, Bill Hader and Seth Rogen, love this scene because it's the fake ID that everybody once tried to pull
Absolutely.
off. All right, what's number 5?
All right, so number 5 for me is from one of my favorite movies, Fight Club. It's a scene early in the movie where the main character, Tyler Durden, is actually having a beer with himself.
Yeah.
But you don't know that at the time. It's Edward Norton, it's Brad Pitt. It's kind of weird. You figure it out later on in the movie. And there they are in this dive bar, just drinking pitchers of beer and bottles of beer. It's a terrific scene and a surprise setup for later in the movie.
By the way, I didn't get that until the very end.
Same. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Exactly
Because my wife got it like 20 minutes in.
Well, your wife is smarter than both of us by a
Well,
lot.
probably true. All right, number 4. Let's go back to Jaws for that great scene. Quint versus Hooper in the chugging a battle of manliness. Anyway, Robert Shaw is Quint trying to intimidate the schoolboy Richard Dreyfuss as to how tough he is. He chugs the Narragansett, crushes the can. Dreyfuss glugs his coffee and shreds the styrofoam cup. It's just a great scene that everybody's imitated once or another time.
Yeah, so number 3 for me is, look, you could pick any number of scenes from Animal House. I picked the one where Flounder feels like he's going to get in trouble. He's sad, he's crying, he needs cheering up. And here comes John Belushi to crush a can of beer against his head and try to get him laughing and try to get him in a better mood. I think even more so than Jaws and Quint and Hooper, this is the best beer can crushing scene in movie history.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. It's a great scene. They don't make those great movies anymore. God, I love that movie so much. All right, number 2, speaking of college frat bacchanalias, Old School.
Love that movie.
Will Ferrell at the frat party.
We're going streaking! No.
Well, before that, so he and his pal Owen Wilson have the frat, and the 19-year-old kids say, like, what are you doing this weekend? He said, well, my wife and I are going to go to Home Depot to pick out wallpaper, and they look at him like he's from Mars. They finally convince him to try the beer funnel, and as you see, here he does, and yes, the scene ends with him streaking down Main Street by himself as his wife comes driving by. Show some guts by Will Ferrell.
We've all been there, Glenn. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And number 1, I think the clear-cut choice, I think if you had picked first in the draft, you'd have picked this one too.
Tough to argue.
I can't think of another scene that makes me crave beer more than the rooftop scene in The Shawshank Redemption where Andy Dufresne convinces the prison guards to buy the convict crew that's tarring the roof icy cold, bohemian-style beer. And they sit out there at 10 o'clock in the morning with the sun on their backs, feeling like free men. If you don't want a bottle of beer after that scene, I don't want to know you.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Great one. Nicely done. Well done, Mike Sealski. You can't argue with any of our choices. All right, coming up, we're going to have our photo contest for the week, name some winners, and give you a chance to come to our year-end party. With Mike Sealski, I'm Glen Macnow from Free Will Brewing. It is What's Brewing.
Parking is free!
Hey! $4! Yes!
With so many affordable things to do in Montgomery County, PA, go ahead, freak out.
Whether you're lounging at the beach, exploring the Swarthmore scene, or kicking back in our Linvilla Beer Garden, Ship Bottom Brewery brings the beach to you. We're thrilled to call LBI our home, where we've crafted award-winning beers perfect for our beloved locals, surfers, and seasonal beach visitors. Our refreshing brews are a year-round beach party, thriving in the summer heat and welcoming chilly winters with open arms. These island beers are perfect for every season and making every sip a mini vacation. Ship Bottom Brewery, where the sun-kissed season never ends and the ice-cold pours are an experience you'll savor long after you've left the island.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing in Percy. Now, this is part of the Bucks County Ale Trail. Download their free mobile app, their mobile passport, check in and win great prizes. I know Mike and I are looking forward to that t-shirt. All right, what are you drinking here?
So I have Free Will's Medieval Wit, which is their wheat beer traces of origin coriander in it. I'm a big wheat beer guy, and this is one of my favorites here.
I am, as you know, a hazy IPA guy. This is personified, one of several on the menu, and a really good one at 7.2%. So, we've been running our photo contest this year. There's going to be a big year-end party at Conshohocken Brewing. You're invited, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, we'll get you there. And every week we ask for a photograph of you doing something. And this week's winners were the people we asked to send a picture of them drinking beer and playing sports. Here's our 3 winners. Number 1. This is John Dingle drinking a Conchi Type A IPA on the fairway. I really did not just pick him because it's one of my beers.
Right.
No, it's a great picture. Look at him. He's having a blast. All right, number 2, Mike Vrieswick and daughter playing cornhole with the red Solo cups.
First of all, Vries hit so many threes at Temple. I'm not playing cornhole with that guy. He's never missing. There's no chance.
Oh, yeah, his outside shot's pretty good. Anyway, congratulations to Mike, former Temple star. And number 3, a video, extra points to Jason Adamski of him. Well, you see, taking a slap shot, drinking a beer. I get the feeling he's done that a lot.
Yeah, he's practiced a bit.
All right, now this week's ask is this. We want a picture of you drinking beer on the water, which means on a boat, while you're fishing, in a pool, in the ocean, whatever. You can take it on a boat, you can take it with a goat, you can do any of those things.
Just no green eggs and beer,
Now,
okay?
here's Mike Sealski. Wow, what is this, Jeff Bezos' yacht you're
Yeah,
on
right.
here? What is that?
It's a family friend's boat on Lake Winnipesaukee in New
Yeah.
Hampshire on a
Wow.
vacation a few years ago.
Who's
Very
your-
modest,
who's
very
your
modest.
family friend, Bill Gates?
I hang with powerful people, as you can see.
Yes, and here's me. This is at a pool at a resort I took my family to at Playa del Carmen in Mexico. The kids got chocolate milk. My son, I think it's an old fashioned, and I got
Cover up, Glenn.
I
Cover
got a
up.
cerveza. I'm in the water. I'm in a pool bar. You swim up to the bar in the pool. It was phenomenal. Anyway, not Instagram, Free Will made their own Instagram reel that would qualify if you look. This is promoting the release of their fishing beer, Beadhead. You know what Beadhead is?
Nope.
I didn't either. It's a nymph for fly fishing. Do you know what a nymph is?
I know what a nymph is,
Okay.
yes. I would stick to worms and flies myself, but,
Okay.
I don't know very much about fishing.
Anyway, send your best picture of you drinking a beer in the water to at Real Glen Macnow or at What's Brewing on Twitter or Facebook. By the way, how do they reach you on social media?
Oh, at Mike Sealski, MikeSielski. That's on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook too.
There you go. Let's go to Natalie Eggenhoff. Natalie is at Free Spirit, non-alcoholic bar and bottle shop in Buckingham. Nat, what do you got?
This is good. Hey guys, it's Natalie Eggenhoff here. I'm at Free Spirit Non-Alcoholic Bar located in the Buckingham Township of Bucks County. And I'll tell you what, this place is amazing. I'm here with Krista. Krista, this is your baby. This is your brainchild. So your shop is obviously one of a kind here in Bucks County. We're near New Hope, Peddler's Village. You're right off the beaten path. Anybody can stop in. Tell me what inspired you to open something like this in this area.
I mean, I just felt that there was truly like a lack of really great or diverse options for people who don't drink. I have not been drinking for a number of years, or even before that, really trying to moderate drinking and drink less. And there was really just a void when I was going to restaurants or bars for things other than club soda.
Yeah.
With maybe some cranberry juice or like a Shirley Temple. And as an adult who had gotten used to drinking things that were sort of much more interesting, cocktails have such great layered, nuanced flavors that I felt like I wanted to have a space where people could still have that same experience without, sort of giving anything up. And so we made it here because it didn't exist. If necessity is the mother of invention, right? And so you have to build it so that they'll come.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's absolutely excellent. Talk to me a little bit about the drink menu. So you have all these different options.
Yep.
It's like so if we go down the menu, it says Italian Spritz, Dirty Martini, Negroni. How did you concoct these mocktails and learn how to make them taste exactly like the drinks?
A lot of trial and error,
Okay.
mostly. I mean, a lot of my background is in restaurants and bars, so I do have a lot of experience working with traditional alcoholic beverages. And so really just finding the right things to create the right flavor profile so things kind of get as close to what you recall them to be was the idea.
Awesome. So then we'll go through. You have your seasonal options too. Those are all different mocktails. And then the one that I'm drinking, this is a Bailey's Melati, and this is an adaptogen drink. Can you tell me, and others who don't know, like what an adaptogen drink actually is?
Sure. Adaptogens occur in all plant matter. So that's going to be botanicals, flowers, roots, vegetables, fruits, things that essentially work with your body's chemistry, natural chemistry, to reduce your reactions to stress, anxiety, or do things like boost energy for you.
Kava and kratom infused drinks. So tell me a little bit about all those drinks.
So kava and kratom are really great alternatives to alcohol. They help you feel relaxed. Kava is a root. It's almost exclusively grown in Fiji. And when you brew it in like tea form or use its extracts, it's going to help your brain sort of supercharge release serotonin and dopamine.
Wow.
So when you drink it, you get a really, really blissy, sort of relaxed, chill feeling without any intoxication.
And now you have things for sale over here.
Yep.
These are all the different, I guess, liquors or...
Yeah, spirit alternatives.
Spirit alternatives.
Yeah, we have a lot of spirit alternatives. So we try to really give people with the bar menu the ability to try things and how you would use them in their cocktail application.
Okay.
And then everything that we have on our bar menu is also available for sale in the store. So that way, if you find something that you really like when you have a cocktail, you'll be able to craft it at home yourself.
Nice. Well, this is awesome. The decor is great. And it's one of a kind, truly, and this is excellent. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah,
This is cool.
absolutely.
Glenn, back to you guys.
Great job, as always, Nat. Love seeing you. Terrific work. When we get back, we're going to talk to the owner of this here place, Dominic Capice, find out what's brewing here at Free Will.
Hi, Mom. We're in Bucks County together, and it's exactly what we needed. I can't believe he pulled this off. A surprise getaway to a place that feels refreshing. And it was so easy to get here. We're doing all the things he had planned, and things he didn't plan. I'll tell you more about it when we get home. You and Dad need to come. You'd love it here.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing here at Free Will Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow. This is Mike Sealski, my radio partner and choir columnist. This is Dominic Capice, who owns this place, of course. This is part of the Bucks County Ale Trail. Make sure you download their mobile passport. There's more than 30 stops. Enjoy them all. Click them off, win prizes. So, Dominic, I came here for the beer. I'm drinking one of my favorite cocktails. This is a Sazerac, man. I'm getting these in New Orleans. What's up with this?
So, us and any brewery in Pennsylvania has had the ability to serve Pennsylvania spirits since, I guess, late 2014.
Yeah.
And we just started doing it about a year ago. It was a months-long project for us to sort of build a program that we felt would sort of emulate the care and effort and concern that we put into beer. We also wanted to make sure that our bartenders were properly trained and part of the process. We found it to be successful. We have a lot of our beer drinking customers that enjoy an occasional cocktail. And we've seen some new faces coming through the brewery specifically to enjoy a cocktail here.
What I'll find is a couple will come in, and I don't mean stereotype, but like he's going to want a beer and she's going to want something else, and hey, the Sazerac works.
Yeah, so Dominic, I'm a fan of Free Will. I don't live far from here. And I know that one of the things that you guys pride yourselves on is kind of like your lack of pretension and your ties to the community in terms of the ingredients that you use. Tell us a little bit about kind of what goes into making the beer and how that ties you guys into Bucks County as a whole.
So yeah, we take everything we do here really seriously, but we want our customers to have fun with our effort. It's a lot of hard work, but people come here to get away from work and to be with friends, hang out, relax. So we don't want people to really overthink the beer or spend time typing on their phone about the beer. We want them to enjoy it and be social. So yeah, we do try to source various ingredients for our lower volume beers locally. It can be prohibitive to do so for our higher volume distributed products. But for anything that's in a barrel, particularly our mixed culture beers, they can be referred to as saisons or farmhouse ales. We would say saison, but mixed culture is just an easier way to kind of put a broad stroke on it. We go to Blooming Glen Farms. We also will send brewers out to forage. So we'll forage dandelion, we'll forage pawpaws, which is, I believe, the only fruit native to Pennsylvania.
Well, I want to, pawpaws, I've had pawpaws, yeah. Pawpaws are good. I want to talk about that barrel-aged program because you do have a lot going back out there. We had the Ralphius earlier, which is a barrel-aged in, well, I know you change it once in a while. What's it aged in this version?
The version you tried was aged in a Buffalo Trace barrel.
Beautiful, beautiful. But you guys do a lot of creativity with that.
We like to mix it up. We primarily age Ralphius, which is our big once-a-year release stout, in bourbon barrels. But we've also used a couple other different spirits, rum. We did one in a bitters barrel, which was pretty wild. That was a little more polarizing for customers. But
Now, you guys have obviously, like any small business over the last couple of years, has had to adjust with the times. You've added live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Why and how has that gone?
the live music has done really well for us. You know, we're not the first to do it, but when it was discussed, like, hey, why don't we think about getting some live acts in here? I wasn't necessarily excited because I was thinking about how other smaller bars and restaurants might have a live performance. And if we were going to do something here, given the square footage we have, the size of this space, I wanted to do something bigger. We've dedicated probably a third of our taproom space for live performances. Done acoustical treatments so it sounds nice and good. No one's, you know, wearing earmuffs. And now we pack the house every Friday night and most Saturday nights, which is fun.
Real quickly, because we got about a minute to go, but I always love the origin story. You guys have been up for, I think, 12 years now. How did this begin?
So it was me and a friend at the time. We were home brewers. We hadn't seen each other in a while. Found out that we were both making beer at home just for fun, as a hobby. Did it together. We joined forces with that individual's talents, and I had a little bit of money to throw around at the time. I was a single guy, no kids. You know,
That changes, doesn't it?
Those were the days.
Yeah.
So we had talent, we had a budget, and then we just made it an overblown hobby for a while. It's kind of cliche because people said, you know, our friends are telling us, you guys should open a brewery. We're like, no, that's crazy. That's a dumb idea. We might have been right, but we did it anyway. And then 12 years later, some things have changed. There's a lot of, you know, new faces here, but we do have some employees that have been here for almost 10 years, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you got the place here, and you got the place at Peddler's Village in Lahaska, which is great. We did a show there last year, really enjoyed it. Hours for here?
We are open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 3 to 9, Fridays from 3 to 10, and Saturdays from noon to 10, Sundays from noon till 8.
I think you got it. All right. Hey, we've really enjoyed it.
It's
Thank
been
you so much
wonderful.
for hosting
thanks
us.
for being here, guys.
Pleasure.
Thank you,
We'll be
Dominic.
back
Appreciate
again.
Awesome. Cheers.
All right, and we'll see you next week on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com.
And Ship Bottom Brewery, brewed for the beach and everything else. Locations in Beach Haven, Swarthmore, and Atlan Villa Orchards.